Something happened yesterday which blows my mind. A new patch has come out for FIFA 19. It's available on PC right now. It will be out on consoles next week. But you're probably thinking to yourself, why is that incredible? There's a new patch. Well, they've only just gone and done something for career mode, and it's really interesting. So if you didn't know, in the history of career mode, they don't really do anything throughout the year. They don't change the systems. They don't really add anything. They might tune a couple of things. They might fix a couple of visual glitches and some actual game-breaking glitches like we had with the -1 glitch. But they very, very rarely tune a system to this extent. They've done some very interesting things with the transfer system. It's actually very exciting. Of course, they've tuned a bit of Ultimate Team as well. So what I'll do is I'll link this post in the description. Whenever they do a new patch, they always post it on the forums, which I'm a big fan of. It's always nice to know what's in the patch. So if you ever want to read the patch notes, just go onto their forum. But if you're interested in the whole patch, then please go ahead and read it. But of course, we're going to be focusing on the career mode changes. Now, also, something to explain. Why do PC get it first? If you play PC FIFA, you have to download it via Origin, which is EA's game client. And I think they've got full control of that. They can patch a game whenever they want. Whereas on console, they have to get it certified and approved by Microsoft, Sony. It will release on a certain day. It does take a bit of time. So I think that's why console is always kind of a week, sometimes 2 weeks late. But I get to beta test all these things. I should be being paid by EA. So let's go ahead and scroll down to career mode. It's a beautiful sight. You know, that they've done something. And normally if there is a career mode change, it's literally like this. There's one thing they've done and we all go, yeah, great. But no, this time, look at this. There's tons of stuff going on in career mode. And it's not what you think. It's not just a visual improvement. It's the system, the transfer system. And it's huge, guys. So bear with me because I'm sure the guy who writes the patch notes is doing the best he can to convey the message very quickly and very easily to read. But it can be a bit complicated if you're reading it quickly. So you have to slow yourself down and think about what you're saying. So bear with me. I will try my best to explain what they mean. And then we're going to jump on FIFA and test it. So made the following changes. Clubs will no longer send a transfer offer or a loan offer for a player that has no chance of accepting a move to that club. So the first thing there, you read that and think, that what does that even mean? So there's a big problem in FIFA career mode this year where you just can't seem to sell players, especially the young players that have maybe a bit of a higher wage. Let's say you're Manchester United, you've got a bunch of younger players that you want to either loan out or maybe even sell, because why not, okay? You might be doing that. However, every single team that comes in for them, they can't afford the wages, it seems, or they just cannot convince the player to join, and then the transfer talks break down. And you end up doing this same process, sometimes for each player up to 10 times, before you finally get an offer from a club that can actually afford their wages or convince them to join. It's extremely frustrating. It makes the transfer window very difficult to control. You can't do what you want to do with your players. So this change here means that you're only going to get offers from teams that can actually make the deal happen. So hopefully, and when we test it, I hope this is the case, it's going to be easier to sell players that are young and on quite a bit of money. I think the Premier League is one of the worst leagues for this glitch. Well, it's not even a glitch, it's just, well, I guess it kind of is. Why are you receiving offers from clubs that quite literally cannot afford that player? It doesn't make sense. So I'm hoping this first thing they've done is a huge, huge game changer for us in terms of selling young players, because it's a really frustrating, annoying thing to happen when you just want to sell a player and you can't. Every offer gets turned down. It just breaks down every time, and it drives me mad. So this is where they've kind of explained that change. This change has been made to prevent situations where a player was transfer listed or loan listed, and the club would constantly receive a stream of offers from teams that the player is not going to accept to move to. So that basically is what I just said. It's a problem. They are trying to fix it. Whether or not it will fix it, I don't know. I hope you still sometimes get offers coming in that you accept, but it doesn't quite work out because, of course, that's realistic. The player might turn them down. I hope it's not a case of you will guarantee a sale. I don't want that. I want there to be a couple that break down, of course, to keep the realism, but it was a bit much, wasn't it? We've also got updates to the transfer and loan system to account for more player and club nationalities as part of the decision-making process a player goes through when deciding if they want to accept an offer. I think this is actually more going to fix the problem of seeing the most ridiculous transfers going on around you, not necessarily the transfers that you are making yourself. I often see, if I go to search for a midfielder in the Serie A for my club, and I will see a bunch of English players that have randomly signed for like lower teams in the league. It just didn't look right. You had players from, I don't know, Man City joining Cagliari, or, you know, just weird signings that you just would not expect to see. And the only reason you wouldn't expect to see it is because of the nationality. I think sometimes you've got to remember that it's not very common an English player will go to the Serie A, go to La Liga. It's actually very uncommon, as we all know. So I think this fix is just going to rein in the weird deals. You know, we're not going to see it so often. It is very strange seeing some random centre-back from Burnley going to Barcelona. I'm not joking you. I recently saw Ben Mee, the Burnley defender, at Barcelona. Very recently, just a couple of days ago, I saw that happen in one of my career modes that I was playing off camera. That's ridiculous. It just wouldn't happen. Why would Barcelona buy Ben Mee? So I think this fix, or this update, is just going to help when it's not a case of Barcelona still making the offer and Ben Mee rejecting that offer, because why would he? It's actually just going to stop Barcelona from making that offer, and they will go for Spanish players instead, or defenders within La Liga, or maybe a Portuguese defender, something a little bit more likely. So I don't think it's a case of we'll see more signings. It will just actually be less weird signings going through, which I'm all for. I'm all for realism. I don't want to be seeing really weird, random transfers. Maybe every now and again it's not a big deal. Seeing one deal go through in the window that makes you go, oh, that's a really odd one. That's cool, but when you start seeing, I see so many English players, particularly mid-range players, you know, like the 75 rated type, ending up in the Serie A at some of the best clubs. It's just weird. It really is just weird, so I'm happy with that fix. Updates to the transfer loan system to account for a player's role at their current club in comparison to the role the player would have at their new club. So again, this is just going to help rein in those deals of players that might be crucial at their current club, signing for a smaller club with a smaller role. Maybe they'd be going to a squad role, you know, a squad player role, or maybe sporadic. You know, it wouldn't make sense. A player in their career, especially if they're younger, would only move to a lesser team if they're guaranteed more football, I would say. Or, let's say, Aaron Ramsey, just random player that popped into my head. Let's say he was staying at Arsenal. He got an offer from Barcelona, and they only offered him sporadic. He's probably not going to turn it down. Of course he would turn it down. He's probably not going to accept that role. Whereas Juventus could come in. He's a squad role player at Arsenal. They offer him crucial, and he's bang straight to Juventus because he knows he's going to get game time. So again, it's not really your own transfers that this is going to impact so much. It will definitely still have an impact, but around you, the transfer world, the background signings that go on as you're playing are definitely going to be affected by this, and it's a good thing. I think it's a very, very good thing. Now, the next one, which I thought was interesting, players that were loan listed were not considering the fact that they were listed for loan as part of the decision-making process for whether or not to accept a loan offer to join another club. So they've got a little bit of a description here. In comparison, players that were transfer listed were taking this into account as part of the decision-making process to accept a transfer offer or not. So again, it's just a little bit of a change, a little difference, but it's going to make such a big change for us playing the game. So apparently this was a bug. I didn't even know about it. It's very difficult to see some of these bugs. But if you transfer listed a player, they knew they were transfer listed. So it was almost like more likely they would accept an offer because they know they're not wanted at their current club. So an offer would come in and maybe they were more likely to accept it because they've been transfer listed. Now, that should be the same when you're loan listed. If you're a young player, you go for a talk with your manager and they say, look, we want you to go out on loan this season. You're not going to be playing for us. You're way more likely to accept an offer to another team because you know you're not welcome. Well, maybe not welcome, but you're not going to play so much if you were to not go out on loan. And to be honest, sometimes you probably wouldn't have a choice. Clubs will just loan you out. So this is going to be a nice thing for players. Well, not really like myself. I don't loan so much, but if you're a career mode player that uses the loan system a lot, if you're trying to loan out young players, this should be helpful for you. You should be seeing your loaned players, or loan listed players, sorry, go out on loan a little bit easier. So, again, that's a good thing. Oh, and then the biggest thing, a visual/presentation change. They've updated the 2D portrait of Davies at Bayern, Nasri at West Ham, and Mikel at Middlesbrough, I think it might be. And that's it, really. But they're massive, massive changes. And I've probably gone on way too long trying to describe what this all means. But it is, I think, it's not just the changes themselves that have really made me happy, but it's the fact they've done it. They could have easily waited until FIFA 20 to make some little changes. But, I mean, I guess they couldn't have even made the changes at all. We wouldn't have known it was a problem. You know what I mean? It's already a very broken system, the transfer window. You know, when you're at a club and you're buying players that just simply wouldn't join, but because it's offline, because it's only a bit of fun, it doesn't actually matter too much. But the fact that they've gone in, I know it's 6 months in, which is not good enough. This should be done way, way earlier if they're going to do it. But the fact that they've done it is, I think, very good. So congrats to EA for doing that. The career mode fan base, I think they deserve some love because we've loved playing this game for so long and we've dealt with so many issues over the years, lack of changes. We all know we want a better career mode, and this is a step in the right direction. I really do think so. This work they've just done, I'm sure, was more because they wanted to add it into the FIFA 20 version, but they've realised that they can add it into the FIFA 20 version, but why not put it out for FIFA 19 as well? There's still so many months to go until the new game. Let people enjoy the changes that they're going to be in FIFA 20 in FIFA 19. It makes sense. So let's jump into a career mode. I'm going to pick a Premier League side and just try and sell a bunch of young players and see if it's any better. Regarding these changes, I believe you need to start a new career mode for it to take effect. So if you've currently got a career mode that you're playing right now, I don't think these changes are going to affect your current saves. So unfortunately, if you want this difference in your transfer window, you're going to have to start a new career mode, which is a bit of a shame, but I don't know that 100%. But let's go ahead and test it. It'll be interesting to see what it's like. Right, so I've gone with Liverpool because I know they've got quite a few young players that are ready to be sold. They're not recently added in or whatever. So we're going to go over to age, which is in stats, isn't it? No, attributes. There you go. So we've got Jones here, add to transfer list. We've got Chamacho. Oh, we can't do him. Brewster. We've got Woodburn. I thought he was out on loan. Maybe they've recalled him. I don't know. We've got Lewis here. Kelleher. No idea how to say his name. We're not going to try and sell Alexander-Arnold because he's 79 rated. You're not going to get the really small clubs coming in for those types of players. We've got Adekanye. I think that'll do. So we've added quite a few players that are around 60 to 65 rated that will definitely attract offers from lower league teams, different leagues from around the world that will simply not be able to afford them. Now, the idea here, of course, is that we don't receive any offers for them. We don't want any offers because that would mean that the patch is working. But if we look at their wages, so if I do the age thing again, so Jones is on 6k a week. So let's say a small team from Belgium comes in for him or from Argentina, whatever. They're just not going to be able to afford his wages. Same with all the other players. Like Woodburn, he's going to be the best example. £14,000 per week he's on, or 13.5. There's just no way a smaller club from a smaller league would be able to afford his wages. But before this patch, you would receive offers from League 2 teams, the Pro League, lower clubs there. Just clubs that you just would not expect to be making offers for these young players because they just simply can't afford them. So this is going to be interesting. Also, I'm going to simulate the entire transfer window and see what other moves have gone on outside of Liverpool, outside of the Premier League? Are there any weird signings going through? If so, it's a good thing if there's one or two, but if there's just too many weird ones, then obviously this patch isn't quite doing its job. So let's go ahead and sim here. Are we going to get any offers? We've got a transfer offer for Sturridge. We're just going to ignore that. We're looking for offers for the young players. All right, here we go, straight away. That doesn't bode well, does it? Right. So, okay, the good thing about this guy, Kelleher, is he's only on £2,000 a week. So actually, probably affordable for Cracovia. They can probably just about afford that. So I don't think that's actually a very good example. I'm waiting for an offer to come in for Woodburn. Okay, so we've had an offer come in from Huracan. Interesting. Okay, let's get rid of the other ones here that we're not doing. Woodburn. That's Club Atletico Huracan. £13,500 per week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've got that kind of money. I mean, I'm going to leave it for now because I want to see if any more offers come in. I don't want to sell a player and then obviously we get no offers coming in for him. So let's carry on here. Another one. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay, doggy. Do you want to be a bit quieter, mate? I don't know if this is working, guys. I'm a little bit disappointed. SKN Polton, St. Polton have come in for a Kanye. I don't think they'd be able to afford 6,000 per week. Interesting. Well, if you couldn't tell already by my face, I'm a little bit disappointed because this doesn't seem to be doing anything. Transfer offer for Brewster. SCR Altac. They can't afford that, surely not. So, what's changed? Another offer. Randers FC. Can they afford £6,700 per week? I don't think so. And apologies for the background noise. I've got 3 dogs in my office there. I'm looking after 2 dogs for my family. And they're very, very loud. So we've sold 1 player. Okay, interesting. We haven't had any other offers coming in. Normally I'd be deleting all these emails, but I'm leaving it for now. So we've got another transfer offer for Woodburn. Defensa. Defensa. I'm sorry, but this is no different. There is no difference right now to a normal career mode. As far as I can tell, those teams right there do not have the budget. I mean, we can check. We can check in a moment. I'll be intrigued, actually. But, yeah. Disappointing. So, I guess you could always test it on another club with another team, but it doesn't look right to me. So we're going to go to deadline day. Just sim all the way there. And we're going to have a look at the deals going through around the world. Because if I am seeing these weird deals that we're kind of used to by now, then clearly this patch hasn't actually done anything. I definitely downloaded it. Yeah, you can't... On Origin, you can't launch the game if you don't update it unless you play offline, but I'm connected. So there's no way I'm playing without the patch. But here we go, at the end of the window here. And let's go top deals and see what's going on here. So let's go for the most money. De Jong has gone to Juventus. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with these. Boateng, Di Maria, Roberto, Gomez. See, that's a good signing. I don't think I've ever seen that before either. Mandzukic to Bayern instead of going to Arsenal for once. Munayin there. Mustafi's gone to Atletico Madrid. Almost got our money back for him. Awar there. Khedira, Alonso. This is actually very good. I don't see anything wrong with these signings whatsoever. I mean, they all look pretty fine to me. I mean, nothing jumps out here as like, what the hell? That's an interesting one, though. Dolberg to Bournemouth. But still, I guess that's believable. Okay, maybe this one. Chilwell to Valencia. Not too sure about that one, if I'm honest. Not something you'd typically see in real world. But I guess, the odd one, it's fine. So let's keep going here. Nastasic, Luiz, Gulam, Cruz. Okay, keep going. Any other English players here? That's fine. Tarkowski has gone to Watford. See, if he'd gone to the Serie A or La Liga, I'd be questioning that one. Okay, here's another one. We've got Wilson going to Lazio. Questionable. But again, one or two going through that make you question it a little bit. I'm fine with that. Oh, what a deal that would be for Arsenal. Okay, these are all good. That's fine. No problems there. No, that's fine as well. Interesting. I must say that is rather interesting. How about some free deals? Don't see anything wrong with these. Got some loan deals we could take a look at here. That's an interesting one. Belanda to Burnley. No, it's perfectly fine. I think in general, it seems to be a bit better. Okay. That's a strange one. Lewis Cook to Angers in the French league. I don't know, guys. I'm seeing some that are odd, but that's fine as long as it's not too many. If it's too many, then obviously it's just weird. But to be fair, I think that's okay. I think what we're seeing here is the patch half working. You've got the nationalities thing seemingly doing a good job, but then you've got the lower rated players that are on a lot of money still getting offers from clubs that simply can't afford them, which is definitely interesting. So out of curiosity, let's just find out who the clubs were again. Received offers. So we want to go down to Woodburn. That's who we're looking at. So, oh my God, we had a load of offers come in while I was simulating. Okay, so we're going to look at Colon de Santa Fe. Have they got a weekly budget of at least 15,000 per week? My guess is they don't. I've put it into sterling or pounds so we can relate to the offers that came in. Let's take a look then. Oh, okay. In fairness, they can afford it. Would the deal have gone through? I don't know, and I haven't saved that career mode, so I can't go back in and try it, but that's interesting. Clearly, you're still going to get offers from clubs that aren't typically, you wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect them to try and sign a player like Woodburn, but they can afford him, in fairness. Just out of interest as well, I wanted to take a look at the squad, and their striker literally looks like someone you'd see serving you at a pub. You know, like the owner of the pub serving you a beer. That's what Rodriguez looks like. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. It was interesting. I think, again, I want to reiterate what I said before, that it's great that they've made some changes. Whether or not they're actually working very well or not, I don't know. It's going to take a lot more time to see if there is an improvement, not just this. So when you guys get the update on console next week, or if you've got the PC version and you've got the update right now, please do try out some random career modes, see if you can notice anything different, and let me know via Twitter or comments on this, whatever, because I will be interested to see how big of a difference it makes. It's very exciting though. Maybe there is hope. Maybe they do still care about career mode. But thank you for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this experimental video with a new patch, and if you want me to do more in the future, then hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode of my Hertha Berlin career mode tomorrow.